It's James Woods, aka that yoga dude, with Feel Free to Feel Free. The most important relationship I'm in is the relationship with the present moment. All the roles, all the responsibilities, all the relationships I have, the current relationship of me and my breath in this moment is the most important. As I breathe in and breathe out, being more and more in the moment. Fully present with this current relationship, this current version of me. My current focus. Taking time to build a relationship with the now is me feeling free to feel free. Namaste.
Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Today, I have a special guest in the building. We met in the building. You directed me in a interview session for like a short documentary that, bro, I've never really been directed, but you cold at what you do.
Thank you.
And you need to know that. Do you mind introducing yourself to the people?
Hey, y'all. My name is Anthony Prince Leslie from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a director, founder of Equator Productions, Black-led production company on the East Coast. And we really just, let me not even talk about the company because it's about me, right?
Man, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, man.
I'll talk about me. Man, I just really want to capture Black people in their most natural state, in their origin, and just show that we all really connect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like all of these stories that I'm telling are stories that all the people around me in my community can relate to, and if they can't relate to it, then they're learning something new about their culture because often we don't really get to learn much about the origin or the history of what we do. We're just trying to like make new stuff, and make and that's great too. But we want a little balance of both.
yeah, that's dope.
It's the art of the art of storytelling.
Man, that's important. That's important. And I think as Black people, because I'm hearing you talk about Black people, we are amazing storytellers. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like some of the best.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How did you get into like directing and stuff? Like what led you to that?
Man, that's a good question, man. Because I had there was so many different avenues that led to me directing.
Yeah,
and like each and every one was like a sign that I was probably too young to see, but knew it felt right.
Yeah.
At one point, one of my older sisters, Emily, had bought a camera. It was the same camera Ludacris had in his video and area codes. And I was just like, damn, I need a little flip camera, and she got it. And then I was doing little videos with my nephew. And then I started skateboarding.
Yeah.
I started doing skateboarding videos with my younger brothers. We got sponsored off of MySpace.
Wow.
We got sponsored by energy drink company. They sent us wild energy drinks. We brought them to the skate park. We gave them out. And I just realized the power at that moment, that what I'm doing is good enough to barter and leverage my way in life. But then after high school, instead of going to school for dance, I decided that maybe, I mean, I didn't decide. They decided for me because my academics wasn't there. And they was like, I was like, you know, if I can't do anything, I'm going to do filmmaking.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Something that for me makes you so dope, because I've done like photo shoots and stuff with and not just photo shoots. I'm just saying this as a director, because I feel like a photographer can be a director. But in my experiences of working with men, most men are not very vulnerable in directing a man. You know, I've probably met one other person that can be vulnerable enough to tell a man how they want them to look. Where do you pull that from? Like, where does your confidence in that space, like, where does your vulnerability come from?
It's mad funny because I talked to you about vulnerability in the docu.
Yeah.
And now you talking to me about vulnerability, and that's crazy. I think it's it comes from a number of places, and the biggest place it came from is like wanting to be a better person.
Yeah.
Like, I most recently got into therapy.
That's what's up.
You know, couples therapy. I have my couples therapist, and I have my own therapist now. And I realized what I was doing, and I got to tap into it now. So I think I'm in a better place. But prior to that, I think I got it from high school. I went to an all-girls, when I went to all-girls, like 10% guys, Talent Unlimited high school, performing arts high school. They were, I was in there for drama, and because I love dance so much, I, went into the dance program, obviously, and I was around a lot of queer boys, and I didn't really understand that world yet. And over the years of being in high school, the 3 years I was in there, I just made friends. I made brothers.
Man.
I seen transitions from, wanting to be with, hetero and then being with the same sex. And it was just like, does that make a difference, really? No. So that was my first interaction with, that this world, knowing that this world that we live in is just complex.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, I could be a little bit more understanding of that because I'm Jamaican. My mother and father's Jamaican. And it's even in our music in which it's like, we're not very welcoming of that. And there's not to say there's not people who welcome that in Jamaica because there's gay people everywhere.
Of course, just like black people.
Just like black people, So I was just like, I just right there, I got to understand like, what vulnerability is through that aspect, and just being open and willing to share, to understand.
Yeah. That's fucking dope, man. That's really dope. Something I want to go back to because like that, you said
did that make sense though?
It did. It definitely made sense. But something I had to ask you about, so I don't forget, is how is couples therapy? And I only ask that because, man, I feel like that is something that all couples should experience and like not wait till things are bad, but like go when things are good, like just for a check-in. But how has that experience been?
Couples therapy it's hard, man, because you want it to be a safe space, but then it's a space where you can kind of let it out so you don't let it out at home.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I go into this space and you face your issues with each other and you have to talk it out. And I'm really being armed with the tools to be able to speak more, again, on my vulnerability, and just opening up more and allowing, myself to be present in those conversations because it's so hard to just be in your head about what you could do better or what you haven't done, and also what you think you can't do.
Yeah.
And breaking that mold has been so hard in the first couple of sessions. You know, it's like it took time. Like we went to couples therapy for a little bit, and then I actually stopped it.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went back. Now, most recently, we're here again, and I just feel like it's much needed.
Yeah.
You know, we make those couple therapy sessions even in the car.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Something else that just popped in my mind, because I am in a fairly new relationship.
Oh, turn up.
Yeah, and things like, it's funny how things could just change in an instant when you creating, and like my life is moving real fast. And I guess, how do you, because I'm sure, you know, with your success, you've probably seen transitions in, you know, your relationship. But one question is, how do you find a balance to balance the creative and the relationship? And also, like, what advice would you give to another creative person, an artist, on just how to balance that, or create, or a couple where somebody's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I get exactly what you're saying, and it's crazy that you're bringing this up because my fiance is actually my business partner.
Wow.
So I co-own Equator Productions with Ashley Simone.
Wow. Dope. That's so dope, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
Thank you. I mean, you was with her on set. She was the
Yeah.
other girl with the bandana. She's amazing, and we just love this. You know, we love archiving works and works of the people that, you know, we admire.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's not about like celebrities and nothing. It's just people, you know, regular people. Like, I love looking at this Instagram. What is it called? And they always post, like, you know, these amazing photographers' work from like the 1930s, 50s, 60s. I forgot what the name is. It'll come back to me soon. But like, I see that for us now, you know, years later. But all that to say is that we work hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't know when to shut off. Not only that, but she also owns another company with her business partner and her best friend, Moya, called Aja.
Yeah.
It's a leather accessories handbag line based in Brooklyn as well. We also share a studio in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So it's like we see each other every day, everywhere, on emails. And then at home, we have to find ways to unplug.
Yeah.
When these deadlines come, it's really hard to unplug.
Yeah, of course,
you know?
of course.
So this is why couples therapy is really important for us right now, because we can let out our frustration, because it's very high energy, high pace, and it's like we be freaking each other out sometimes.
I'm sure, yeah.
And like, I'm really here to give her calm. I'm really here to like be a proper support for her, and she's here to be a proper support for me. And I'll be lying if, like, even though we are trying to better understand each other and grow with each other, that it's not that we don't like each other. We just want each other to be better.
Yeah.
And we want each other to accept each other in our new forms as we transition. And yeah, it's been a journey, and I don't see myself being on that journey with nobody else. Like, I love her to death. Like,
and it's so dope to hear you talk about that. And the biggest thing I hear is like y'all both are growing. Like, as you growing, she's growing at your own different paces, but you're still continuing to just go up, and you doing the work, man. That is fucking beautiful, and I appreciate you sharing that with me, because I really needed to hear that today.
Yo,
Thank
listen,
you.
you got it. You got it. If you really want it, you'll make it work. Those moments in which you are both, you know, trying to hear each other, aka arguing. Take a breath. Go walk. Come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
Come back and talk about it. As hard as it is, it's very important that you have that conversation, because that silent air is a silent killer.
Man.
And I'm still working on that, because that shit is hard. I don't even want to talk about it no more.
I appreciate that. Man, I wanted to transition to your experience here, because like I said, we met here, and like, I mean, I don't know how it feels for you, but for me, it looked like you got a whole lot of responsibility here. Like you are in charge of like making not just me, but like everybody look good. And how are you managing that? How are you doing with that?
I mean, first off, as a director, I got to command the ship. You know, I got to make sure the feng shui is good, the energy is good between the whole team. So first off, like when I'm looking for our teammates, is always like, who's here to do their job? You know, like who's here to put their paddle on their side of the boat and do what's best to make sure that we get to our end goal, which is an amazing product with a great time.
Yeah.
We work hard and we're keen on having fun while doing it.
Yeah.
You know? Then on the other side of that, we have to make sure the client is very, is included in that process. And Spotify team has been amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shannon and Kenya. I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to also Gabby. It's really been a little bit of a whirlwind because it moved so fast. But I was so sure that this is something that I was destined to do because I manifested this. You know, like I've always done documentaries and I didn't really do music videos a lot because it's hard. There's a lot of artists that's out there who don't really have it. And it's always to make it look like you have it. Mm-hmm. You know, you always have to be something that you're not yet to be something.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the business I really want to be in. I want to, like I said, again, capture people in their natural state, especially black people. So in approaching this, I was like, I want to meet each artist where they are.
Yeah.
It's not about how big or how little you are. It's about who you are as a person. And I'm just so grateful that like each and one of you artists, all 7 artists, all 7 groups of artists, I guess, because it's more than 7 people, but that you all allowed me to step inside of your worlds and get to understand. And of course, I had to do a lot of research.
Yeah.
I was listening to our Letting Go podcast, and I was like, yo, I fuck with this. I was like I was actually listening to it while like I was just doing research on the other artists too.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just in the background playing. So it's kind of surreal that I'm here right now. Again, manifesting that. Man. You know, like I was like,
I appreciate that.
Of course. Like I was just like, you know, this is tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm like, yo. Before this, I was just like, I want to be in LA for my birthday.
Man.
That's what I said.
Bro. I know. And I'm sure you did, because I feel like, I'm telling you, I told all my friends, I felt like I manifested this shit. Mm-hmm. And like, the shit is real, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, like, for both of us, this is kind of just like the beginning. Like, this ain't even the tip. You know what I mean? Like,
and I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like we don't do it for that.
Exactly.
My heart is way too in it. That's why I get too wrapped up in this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I love this. I want to make sure I have the right image, and everybody on my team is like, we want to make sure we got the right image. We want to make sure we're doing this the right way.
Yeah.
And I've been patiently waiting and working for this point, to happen. You know, like I was doing the hard work. I was listening to Dedication by Nipsey Hussle. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. R.I.P., bro. For real.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been dedicated to this. And I had to wait. And I've been through a lot of shit with different agencies and companies and people who just wanted to dick me around so that they can get as much as they can from me. And that's why I know who I'm going to work with, when I'm going to take a job. You know, when the money is not good enough. Yeah. You know, when the energy is not good enough. Yeah. You know.
Man, what is your ultimate goal with everything you're doing right now?
Man, my ultimate goal is to create a space where we can just truly be ourselves. And in those spaces for me are looks like Equator Theaters, Equator Studios. It looks like investing in young talent, because I can see young talent, young black talent. A lot of anybody that's outside of our community can't really see that because they just don't know, and I understand like why. There's gatekeeping in certain areas of this film industry, and it goes a certain way for certain people because this is not our industry, I guess.
Yeah.
But Birth of a Nation, they knew the power of media, which is why they depicted black people in a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm here to change that.
I feel that, man.
Shout out to Spike. I'm yo, Spike, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the torch real quick.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a young creator right now? What advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about, just anything in film and directing? Like, what advice would you give to them?
I would say to any young creative young director that's on the way to manifesting their brightest dreams is to make sure your heart is in it. Do your research and know that you're in it for the long game. It's not about making money all the time. We need to make the money. I will say that. We need to make the money to do what we love and invest back into it, but make sure your heart is in it first, and that money would definitely follow. I'm in every part of the process, from the editing, sound design, color correction, lens choices, camera. Like, I DP projects, I direct projects, and I've edited projects. Like, you need to know your chain of process and on every aspect, and you don't need to always do it, but just know how you are going to help instruct people to get to that end goal the way you see it on every level of, that art.
That's what's up, man. I got 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, gosh. I think I got to think about this. I'm going to step outside and walk. For my younger self, man. Hey, Anthony. Walk the walk. That's what I would say. I've always felt like I knew that I was great at what I did. I always had that, I feel like I had that confidence. Like, I knew I could be better, and I knew I was good. And sometimes I didn't know why people didn't see that, but I felt it.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite there yet, though.
Yeah. No, I feel you. You.
But now that I'm finally here, and I mean, I'm always working on that. Never mind. I can't even say that. I'm always working on it. But yeah, I just needed to walk that walk because it's about the journey.
Yeah.
It's about the end goal, but it's not really about the end goal.
Yeah, of course. That's what's up, man. It's funny you say that because I recorded one earlier by myself, and I was like, what advice would I give my younger self? And I was like, fuck what people think. Keep going. Cares what anybody thinks.
No.
Just fucking do you. You don't need no validation. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man. My other question was, what's a reminder you want to give to your older self?
A reminder I want to give my older self. I think this is the reminder. This being here this weekend with all of you and working with Spotify was a reminder that do the right thing and you'll be, shout out to Spike Lee.
That's what's up.
I had to just do the right thing and stay the course, because at the end of the day, it's about people read when it's superficial.
Yeah,
people read when it's fake. And people want somebody that's real. And I feel like in order for me, going back to vulnerability, how we started this off, I had to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
So you could be vulnerable with me.
Yeah.
Now we both keeping it real.
Yeah, man. For real. Mm-hmm. Man, where can the people find you?
The people could find me on Instagram at Anthony Prince Leslie. You could find my production company at equator.studio. Studios on it's equator.studio. Equator.studio website. What else? I don't know, y'all. Just type that in Google, please, and find me because I'm looking for you.
That's hilarious, man. Thank you so much, Anthony, for doing the show. Like, I really appreciate this.
No, thank you for having me. When you pulled me aside, you was like, "Listen, man, I got a podcast room. My last few, hours here. Feel free to pull up. I want everybody." I was like, "I am there," and I brought the wine. We sipping wine again. Yeah, Kenya, Shannon, Spotify team. I'm sorry, but I needed it. Okay. Okay, it made me sound like an alcoholic. I didn't need it, but it was a
celebration.
It's a celebration. Oh
man, Anthony, thank you for doing the show. Thank y'all for listening. Mm-hmm. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Peace. Thank y'all for tuning into this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. If you like what you heard, please be sure to subscribe and also leave a comment. Let other people know what you think. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from y'all. We have a phone line. You can DM me. Ask me a question. We have a new segment called Ask Me a Question. So you can ask me a question. Man, also shout out to Spotify for letting us record at the Frequency Free Studio. If you guys would like to purchase Art of Letting Go merch, get my book In a Panorama. Also, if you want to support the show in any kind of way, you can go to justmikebrown.com, pick up merch and all that cool stuff. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go.